But I got actually a total of 18. So I hit OK, and you're going to need to know the number of sequential frames. So I'm going to hit OK, and you see it brings on in. It makes everything a keyframe, its own individual keyframe. Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the Digital Paul Workshop. It is I, that pixel that just won't align the way you want it, Techno Meow Tinkerer. And today we're going to cover how to create an animated GIF in Krita. And when I say animated GIF, I mean this. My king who's hyped up on caffeine. And if you already seen my video on mastering the parallax effect, then you already been introduced to this fella. So let's log on in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new file. Now I've already set my dimensions up ahead of time for the size of my GIF I want to do, but you'll put in your height, your width, and your resolution. Being that he is a simple flat colored GIF of pixelated character, I don't need high resolution. I'm going to create. Now there's a couple ways you can go about actually doing this. One is you can come into settings, you go to Dockers, and I go to animated timeline and bring this up, and then you can create keyframes. Now I have not learned keyframes yet, but subscribe for future videos for when I do learn keyframes, because I will make a video on it. But as we go on in here, I'm going to go on down to File. I'm going to go to Import Animation Frames, and I'm going to collect Add Images. Now my count is off. I for some reason forgot number 7, so that's why I say 19, but you need to know how many you have. I said I'm going to start this way just to make sure it gets everything in the correct order. But I got actually a total of 18, so I hit OK, and you're going to need to know the number of sequential frames. So I'm going to hit OK, and you see it brings on in. It makes everything a keyframe, its own individual keyframe. So I don't need this no more. I just want to leave that up just long enough to show you what it did. So it's got all my images there on my paint layer. Now when I go to export it, I want to export as render animation. It's right here where it says render animation. Click on that, and then you gotta go through whether you want to do image sequence, which is what I pulled from beginning with, so I don't need that. I want to do it as a video or both. Your first frame usually yours is 0. Being that this is only 18 frames, I want to type 18 in, because if I leave 100 in, it will be a long period of just the last frames there by itself before it repeats over. By putting in 18, that tells it automatically to go back to frame 1. Of course, got my height and width thing, and of course your frames per second. So I guess you can go in to speed up or slow down this way. Now, one way to slow down my keying would be to duplicate the keyframes or the sequential frames, so I have more frames between each other. But I'm not going to do that. It's not going to work. Now you need to get this thing called a FFmpeg file. Now the site I got mine from is no longer up, but you might can find it on GitHub. Just do a Google search for this one. The one I'm using is a FFmpeg master latest Win 64 GPL is the folder I got it from, and of course it's the execution file you're going to need. Then you can render it out as different type of animations. I have not tried any of these other than the GIF. I do want to try the animated PNG one day, because if it gives me a transparent background, that's going to actually come quite helpful in some stuff. But I'm going to leave it as GIF. You go in here, you can kind of click where you want to save it. Right, the default right now is pictures. I'm going to leave it like that. You can type in there, or you can type in here. I'm going to just do king walking. Make sure, yeah, everything's spelled correctly. That way when I go to find it, I can make sure to find it. And you click OK. And now it just renders it on out, and boom, I have my animated GIF of my king who is rushing towards me for whatever reason. I do not know. But if you like my video and you want to help support the channel, please like and subscribe, and also check out my video on mastering the parallax effect. I actually created using both Olive and Krita, But as soon as I learn how to use keyframing and Krita, you might can do it all in that. So subscribe for that future video. But I hope all of you have a blessed day.